Today's episode is brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source of medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services online. You'll find popular peptides like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. Now, here's your hosts.
Here's a question I hear all the time. Someone loses 30, 40 pounds on a GLP-1 medication, they feel amazing. And then they ask, okay, when do I get to stop? Like it's a course of antibiotics. Take it, finish it, done.
And it's such a reasonable thing to assume. That's how most medicine works in our heads. You have a problem, you take the thing, the problem goes away, you move on.
Right. But with these medications, that mental model is exactly what trips people up. So today, we're talking about what actually happens when people stop GLP-1 medications, what the research shows, and why this matters even more if you're over 40.
And before anyone panics, this is not a doom episode. There's a hopeful, practical takeaway at the end, but we have to be honest about the science first, because the honesty is what protects you.
Let's start there. What does the research actually say happens when people stop?
So the headline finding, and this comes from strong evidence, large randomized controlled trials, is that most people regain a significant portion of the weight they lost. In one well-known semaglutide study, when people stopped, they regained about 2/3 of the weight they'd lost within a year.
2/3. So if you lost 30 pounds, you're looking at roughly 20 coming back over that year.
On average, yes. And the Tirzepatide data tells a similar story. In one trial, a little over a year after people switched off the medication, more than 80% of them had regained at least a quarter of what they'd lost. And it wasn't just the number on the scale.
What else?
The health improvements drifted back too. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, the markers that had gotten better during treatment started sliding back to where they started.
Okay, that's sobering. But I want to say the next thing really clearly, because I think it's the most important sentence in the whole episode. If you've regained weight after stopping one of these, that is not a willpower failure.
It's really not, and the biology backs that up. When you lose a meaningful amount of body fat, your body fights to get it back. Your metabolic rate ticks down, your hunger hormones, especially one called ghrelin, go up, and your fullness signals go down. The medication was quieting all of that. Take the medication away, and the volume comes right back up.
So the drug wasn't masking a lack of discipline. The drug was doing a job your biology had stopped doing on its own.
Exactly, and that reframes the whole thing. These are chronic condition medications. The closest analogy is blood pressure medication. Nobody says, my blood pressure's great, guess I'm cured, I'll stop my pills. We understand that if you stop, the pressure usually climbs back. This is the same category.
And there's evidence on the flip side too, that staying on keeps the benefit.
There is. In longer studies, people who continue treatment held on to most of their weight loss out to 2 years. So it's not that the medication stops working. It keeps working. It just only works while it's working.
Let's bring this over 40, because there's a layer here that a lot of people miss. And this is where it gets personal for our audience.
This is the part I really want people to hear. When you lose weight fast, some of what you lose isn't fat, it's muscle. And after 40, we're already fighting a slow, natural loss of muscle over time. The word for that is sarcopenia, which just means age-related muscle loss.
So the concern is, you lose weight, some muscle goes with it, and then here's the kicker. When the weight comes back after you stop,
it tends to come back as fat, not muscle. Fat regains easily.
Quick reminder that today's episode is brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source of medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services online. You'll find popular peptides like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. Now, back to the show.
You have to rebuild on purpose. So you can end up at the same weight on the scale, but with a worse body composition than you started with. More fat, less muscle. And for someone over 40, muscle is what keeps you strong, keeps your metabolism up, and keeps you steady on your feet for decades.
That's the part that genuinely changes how I'd approach this.
And if you're a woman going through perimenopause, there's an added wrinkle. Those same appetite and metabolism signals are already shifting with hormonal changes, so the rebound after stopping can feel even steeper. None of that is a reason to avoid these medications. It's a reason to be strategic about muscle the entire way through.
So let's do a little myth busting, because there are a few beliefs floating around that really hurt people here.
Myth number 1, you take it, you hit your goal weight, then you stop and you're done. We've covered this. For most people, stopping means regain because the underlying biology hasn't changed. Goal weight isn't a finish line, it's a maintenance starting line.
Myth number 2, and this one breaks my heart. If I'm just going to regain it anyway, what was even the point?
The point is that your options are not just all on or all off. There's a whole middle. Some people work with their provider on a lower maintenance dose. Some taper gradually with a real plan instead of stopping cold. Some transition to other strategies. And here's a genuinely encouraging fact. If someone does stop and regain, restarting these medications tends to work again. You haven't broken anything.
That's a relief to hear. Myth number 3,
That you can white-knuckle your way through on pure willpower once you stop. The trials are pretty clear that willpower alone rarely holds the line against that biological pushback. What helps is structure, protein, resistance training, and medical support, not shame.
which is a good moment to talk about our sponsor, because this is squarely their world.
It is. Today's episode is supported by Get Skinny Online. The whole theme here is that weight management after 40 is a long game, not a quick course you finish. Get Skinny Online offers medically guided weight loss with licensed providers who can help you through the long-term plan, whether that's getting started, maintaining, or figuring out what an exit strategy actually looks like, so you're never just guessing on your own. You can learn more at getskinnyonline.com. And as always, work with your own licensed provider on what's right for you.
And that's the natural bridge to the reminder we give every episode. This is educational, it is not medical advice, and any change to a medication, starting it, stopping it, adjusting it, is a conversation to have with your doctor, not something to do solo, especially after 40 when you may have other things going on.
Absolutely. Please don't stop a prescription because a podcast made you think about it. Let it make you think about the conversation instead.
So let's land the plane with our 3 takeaways.
Takeaway 1. For most people, stopping a GLP-1 leads to regain, and that's biology defending an old set point, not a personal failure.
Takeaway 2, after 40, protect your muscle the entire way through, because you want anything you keep off to be fat, and you want to hang on to the muscle that keeps you strong.
Takeaway 3. Never stop cold without a plan. Maintenance, tapering, or transitioning are all real options, and a licensed provider can help you choose.
And your 1 action step for this week: if you're on one of these medications or seriously thinking about starting, book a conversation with your prescriber specifically about the exit plan, what happens if and when you stop, before you actually need it. Get that map in your pocket early.
And while you're at it, get 2 resistance training sessions in this week. 2. That's the minimum that meaningfully protects muscle and is the single best insurance policy for your body composition through all of this.
If this episode made something click, do us a favor and share it with someone who's on this journey, because this is exactly the stuff nobody warns people about. And tell us in the comments, have you stopped or thought about stopping? What was your experience?
Subscribe so you don't miss what's next, and we'll see you in the next one. Remember, it's not too late. It's just different.
Thanks for listening. Today's episode was brought to you by GetSkinnyOnline.com, your source for medically guided GLP-1 weight loss services. They have popular peptides like Semaglutide and Tirzepatide in injectable, liquid, and pill forms to make your weight loss journey easy. Go to GetSkinnyOnline.com or check the show notes for the link. See you next time.